Hello and welcome to this demonstration in which I'm going to show some of the key advantages of using SignLab over CorelDRAW. CAD-Link Technology has been developing industry-leading design and production software for over 18 years. Commonly recognised and awarded as the most user-friendly sign making package available, SignLab continues to offer sign makers and digital printers a wealth of specialised tools for specialised jobs. Like SignLab, CorelDRAW is a vector-based editing program. It's very functional and undoubtedly has some great features. However, unlike SignLab, it was not designed and created specifically for the sign and display industry. We believe choosing SignLab for your business will save you time, money and effort. Here are just 10 reasons why. Vinyl cutting is where it all began. Long before the age of large format digital printers, SignLab offered driver support for practically every plotter on the market. You won't find a single cutter driver included with any CorelDRAW package. Our latest release has vinyl cutting drivers for over 100 different manufacturers, both old and new. And installing and configuring a specific cutter is a very simple task. From the main SignLab screen, I simply go to the File menu and select Install Cutting Devices. I can firstly choose a manufacturer and then a specific device and then click Next and the cutter is installed. It's that simple. Despite the popularity and shift towards digital printing, CAD-Link understands the importance of vinyl cutting within the sign industry and continues to add driver support for the latest machines. Successful output to a vinyl cutter requires the user to be in complete control. SignLab boasts many unique functions to help in this area. Weeding large areas of vinyl can often prove impractical, if not impossible. Common practice is to manually slice large areas into manageable sections. This can be labour intensive and mistakes can be made. Cutting through a letter or too deep into the backing is easily done and can mean starting all over again. In SignLab, it's possible to overcome this issue by using our Power Weed function, a facility you won't find in any desktop publishing software. Power Weed simply lets you place additional cut lines onto your object to break large areas into smaller sections for manageable weeding. The clever part is that these weed lines will never cut through your originally created paths, so you can place the lines wherever suits. Not only is this function easy to use, but it will save you valuable time on the weed bench. Outputting your finished work from SignLab is made simpler with the Print and Cut preview screen. Yet another function designed specifically for the sign maker. Here you will get an accurate representation of the job to be produced and its orientation on the roll of vinyl to be used. There are of course a host of tools you would expect to see here like rotate and mirror, but it's the specialised functions that make this software package the choice of sign makers. Tools like sort dialog. You may have noticed objects are not always cut in the order you would expect. Take this text for example. The natural and obvious order of the cut would be one letter after the next. But as we edit and duplicate our designs and move them around, this order gets mixed up. And when sent to cut, you could find unnecessary cutter movement, where the cutter moves from one letter, skips a few, cuts another. Letters and objects being cut out of sequence will waste time and add to the wear and tear of your hardware. Sort dialog is a simple remedy for this. When set correctly, it will ensure that the nearest object is always cut next, saving unnecessary cutter movement. This and other functions like it are specific to vinyl cutter output and cannot be found in CorelDRAW or any other desktop publishing program. Converting bitmap images to vectors for vinyl cutting can be a labour-intensive task. Both CorelDRAW and SignLab contain a toolset for achieving this. However, we feel our strength and advantage here is the ease of use of our digitising functions. Newcomers to SignLab can use the step-by-step scan and trace wizard. Each stage is explained in full to help build confidence and knowledge that can be used as you progress to our more advanced tools. In this short example, I have already used SignLab's vectorization tools to trace this image. It's done a pretty good job, but I have a few points to tidy up. I can achieve this more efficiently by using some of the keyboard shortcuts. All these base nodes of my object need aligning. I'm going to use a grid to help achieve this faster. First, I select this node and hit the L key on the keyboard. This will snap a grid line through this node and create a base reference point for the others to align to. Now I will select all the other nodes and hit H on the keyboard. Instantly, every node selected is aligned to the nearest horizontal grid line, giving perfect results. It's this and other simplistic shortcuts like it that makes using SignLab's digitising and node editing features so easy. Another nice tool is Segment Edit. Look how this poor curve can be quickly tidied. With little practice, you'll find the nodes easy to control. Of course, you will only appreciate the full benefit of these time-saving functions once you have tried them for yourself. But once you do, there'll be no going back. Applying shadows to objects in SignLab is a simple task, and whilst it's not difficult to achieve similar effects in CorelDRAW, it's almost impossible to output the results for vinyl cutting without a lot of additional editing. Take a look at the text on screen in SignLab. I'm going to add a simple drop shadow, which is to be produced in a different colour to the text. Have a look at these objects with the fill turned off. You can see the simple paths that have been created, and if I move the text away from the shadow, this is easier to see. The simplified shadow will be cut in red vinyl and the text in blue, and then the two objects can be laid up to produce the finished sign. Now in Corel, I've created much the same effect. On screen the results look great, and if I were to print these to a desktop device, there would be no issue. However, the same can't be said for vinyl cutting. If we view the results in wireframe, you'll see many additional paths have been created, and these will all be cut when the job is sent for production, unless some time is spent simplifying the shadow first, a task that SignLab does automatically. It's not a fault of Corel, just another example why sign-making tasks require sign-making software. SignLab has an incredibly simple workflow for applying high-impact Photoshop plugins directly to vectored objects. The images you can see on screen were all created solely in SignLab Print and Cut using plugins that are supplied free with every copy. Selecting my vectored object and then launching Eyecandy from the image menu will present me with a simple user interface that lets me adjust various property sliders to achieve any number of results. And remember, this is directly to vectored paths. Once happy, I need only click OK and the effect is complete. Whilst these kinds of results can be achieved in other software packages including Corel, it's not possible with the same simplicity, neither is it possible to apply the effect directly to vectored objects. Graphics will normally be produced large, sometimes very large. When an effect such as a bevel or chrome is applied to an object in SignLab, regardless of how big, a clipping path is placed around the object to ensure crisp, sharp results. Pixelated edges are generally not a problem when printing images small, say for a magazine or a flyer, but you'll soon notice them if you try and print an object 6 feet high for the side of a bus. It's exactly this kind of thing that CADlink think of when creating software for sign makers. With the introduction of Print and Cut came the ability to produce decals and individually contoured graphics. SignLab's contour cut functions work with ease and simplicity on both vectored and bitmap objects. This first example has a vectored path around the outside edge, so within the contour cut tools I need only select an offset to create a new cut line that will follow the shape of my image. With bitmap images I can use the monochrome threshold filter to detect the boundaries of this white background and create a contour line around the iguana. In the cut menu I can turn any regular path into a contour cut path with one click, and vice versa. These paths can then also be used to crop and eliminate unwanted backgrounds on bitmap images. To complement our contour cut facility, we have added half cut. Sending variable pressure commands to compatible cutters means it's possible to create not just contour graphics, but complete decals of any shape. It's our understanding of sign making hardware that makes these specialised but simple to use functions possible. Like all SignLab's functions, the text creation and editing tools have been designed with the sign maker in mind. Often text has to be placed in some unusual shaped and sized areas. Vehicle panels are one example of where a sign maker needs to be a bit more creative to make a layout look right. Kerning in SignLab is just one tool that can make tasks like this simpler to achieve. In addition to our regular kerning tools, we also have on-screen kerning. Pressing the Control key whilst double-clicking text will assign a handle to each character. Individual letters can then be moved by selection, and the whole word can be simply and evenly spaced over any distance. Multiple lines of text can be quickly spaced to any distance and at any angle using the same tools. When using the text edit mode in SignLab, you'll find all the tools at your fingertips, not buried away in sub-menus. You'll find this makes initial layouts and editing quicker and easier to achieve. For output to large format digital printers, SignLab Print and Cut has its own built-in dedicated RIP, a facility you won't find in CorelDRAW as one is not required for output to a desktop device. SignLab's built-in Print and Cut Manager enables you to output printing work from the SignLab design interface with the same ease and simplicity as cut jobs. Effectively, what you get is two software packages in one, and because they are both created by CADlink, there will be no file format or RIP compatibility issues to slow your workflow. Take a look at this job on screen. To output, I would simply send to the Print and Cut Manager. From this preview, I can access a host of options, from machine types to print resolution. The print mode to be used can also be selected. CADlink have print modes for many of the popular device and media manufacturers. Once any settings are made, the job can be sent on to the Print and Cut Manager, and from here it's outputted to my chosen device. The vast number of advantages of our dedicated RIP cannot be fully appreciated in this short example. What's important to take in is the level of functionality that has been created specifically for the sign and display industry and output to large format digital machines. The features of SignLab have all been developed and created for use within the sign and display industry. With the need for specialised software comes a demand for specialised support. We understand the industry you work in, and this enables us to provide a quicker, more effective support service. Wherever you are in the world, you'll have free access to InfoSource, our dedicated online support and training facility. Here you can watch tutorials based on real sign making tasks and learn how to get more from our software products. Our user forum lets you share advice and tips with other SignLab users, and our online knowledge base can provide you with problem-solving solutions 24/7. For more information and advice on how SignLab can help your business, visit our website at www.cadlink.com.